Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Talking with F. Hope you all been good. Wonder what you guys have been up to. Before we continue with this episode, subscribe, like and comment. Go on my YouTube, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, Spotify, Apple. I'm on a shitload of things, let's just put it that way. I've got a lot of outlets that I post quite daily on, so subscribe to all of them. Join the family because we're only going to keep growing. The sky's the limit. That's where we're going to go. I remember when someone said a quote. Do you remember when people normally say like those cheesy ass quotes like, the sky's the limit, reach for the moon, reach for the stars. And I remember there was a quote one time that was like, why should I reach for the moon? No, it was why should I reach for the sky when there's footprints on the moon? Which is, it's a little bit cheesy, but to be honest, it's not that much of a bad quote. It's quite decent. I'm trying to think who said it, but it was a good quote. Cheesy, but good. So like, everyone has those cheesy kind of quotes. And pick up lines as well. Like, that's one thing. Like, have pick up lines died out? I know face-to-face interactions, they don't happen as much. What I mean by that is when you see someone on the street, I doubt, you go up to them and try a little pick-up line on them and try to get a number. You just go, hi, how you doing? And, start talking to them. But I think people still try it on social media, like Instagram and Twitter, when they drop a little DM. They drop a little cheesy ass pick-up line. But does that really work? I mean, personally, from a guy's perspective, if a girl came up to me with a pick-up line, I'd be impressed. And nowadays, like, it's not just guys who make moves, it's girls as well. Like, the amount of girls that, these famous people get in the DMs, it's fucking crazy. I remember quite some time ago, there was a famous rapper, I think it was Chris Brown, a few years ago, and he basically made he took screenshots of his DM inbox on Instagram, and he had like thousands of girls. If you're just scrolling through it, it's like a screen record. He's scrolling through it and he's got so many fucking girls like hitting him up and shit. And you go on some of these girls' profiles, like he went on one girl's profile and she basically, in her profile picture, she was there with a man and the profile was public as well. And she's there like, when you see these like certain social media profiles where they, where they're couples together, they proper lovey-doveyed up and they have the little marriage quote in the bio, like when they got married and they're going to be forever together. And this fucking this bitch is out here talking to Chris Brown and saying fucking, come to my house, I want to do this and that to you. And on the other hand, on a public profile, she's there with a man she's been married to for like 5 years, and she's got all these like cheesy ass quotes like, oh, we'll be together forever. It's fucking mad, that. It's fucking mad. And it's proper crazy, like the amount of side chicks and side guys people actually have nowadays. Like, people will be in full out committed relationships, yeah. They'll know someone for 5-6 years, boyfriend, girlfriend, but they'll still have like a little side thing on the side. It's fucking crazy, that, man. Absolutely crazy. It just shows you, nowadays you don't really know. And then obviously because of that whole Jada Smith incident, when she came out with the phrase entanglement, all these men are going to start using that word entanglement. It's gonna be the new word that's gonna replace cheating. And I was fucking this girl, I was fucking that guy. They're gonna come up to you and they're gonna be like, yeah, the situation was I was just in a little entanglement. Forgive me for my sins. I was pulling a Jada. I wanted to heal myself. I swear down, man. Only certain people like get away with that kind of shit. Imagine fucking cheating on your partner and getting caught out and then just saying to your partner, I just want to heal myself and that's why I was doing it. Fucking heal yourself, a dick. Holy shit. What kind of healing method is that? Don't know any gurus are teaching that kind of shit. But then again, you do hear all these stories like these cults that they have in America where these gurus from China, they come down, not China, sorry, these gurus from India, when they come down and they start this like yoga cult and they have thousands of followers, and then 10-15 years down the line the FBI do an investigation and they find out these fucking gurus were shagging half the people that they were that were in their class. It's fucking mad, that. Like, It just seems like nowadays anything's a goal. Like people will start certain shit just to get like certain people. But that's not to put a slight on anyone. Like at the end of the day, there are people out there that are in committed relationships. They've been with their partners for a few years and they ain't doing no cheating, they ain't doing none of that fuckery. But the thing is, it's just so much easier nowadays. That's what it just comes down to, if you think about it. Like if you go 15, 20 years, back, like say the 90s and the early 2000s, none of this shit was around. There was no Instagram, there was no Twitter. There might have been a few social media profiles like MySpace, but I doubt a lot of people were fucking DMing each other in those. Those were more for like music and business purposes. But nowadays, you go on Instagram, you got access to like millions of girls, or if you're a girl, you got access to millions of guys. A lot of people make their profiles public and just like a few pictures and drop a line in a DM, and that's it. You can go and link the thing, and then just do what you want to do, and then chip, which basically, proves my point that it's so much easier. But anyway, what's been going on? What has been going on? Well, in the UK, so Boris Johnson came out and he was like, everyone has to wear a face mask from the 24th of July in any shopping place. So if you go to the supermarket, if you go to like, say you go to like buy some clothes, fucking, you go to your local DIY shop, wherever you go, you have to wear a face mask. And that's going to be by law. So if you are caught not wearing a face mask, you're going to get £100 fine. Which, like, this government's been kind of shit with that, with giving you information. If you think about it, they've been really, really shit. Like, at one point, they were like, face masks ain't going to do anything. They don't protect you, so don't wear them, leave them for the hospital staff. And then, when they started easing lockdown in the UK, they were like, we're going to start easing it. You can go out, you can do this. They didn't say anything about face masks then. And now, 4 months later, they're like, it's compulsory. Everyone has to wear it. I know they're doing it as a safety measure, but it's fucking like, sometimes it just makes you think that this government doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, do they have any idea how, like, what's going to happen? Are they even taking the advice of the scientific advisors? Or is it all just a game to them? They want to open up the UK, they want to open up the economy, because if they don't, everything's going to get fucked up. We're going to go into such a bad recession that it's going to be really, really hard to recover from. So that's the one thing that they want to avoid. That's why they're trying to get all these people out, like girl shopping, do this, do that. But now they're like, wear masks. And if you don't wear a mask, you're going to get £100 fine, which is fucking expensive. Like, you get caught without wearing a mask, you're fucked up. Like, it's mad. Fucking mad. But we'll see how it goes. In my opinion, I think they're going to keep changing things. It came out today as well. Boris Johnson came out today and he was like, he's going to start easing like certain places. He's going to start letting people do more activities. He's going to start opening up more places. As time goes on, because they slowly want to start opening up everything. But hopefully, I hope there's not like a second wave, because that'll be fuckery. And a lot of people are saying that right now we're in July, and you could say it's like midsummer. Although if you live in the UK, it's fucking raining every day. The sun's hardly ever out, so we'll just call it summer by name. But yeah, summer, and they're like, it will get worse in the winter. So we've only got like a couple of months before it's officially winter, and how much worse is it going to get? Hopefully they can come out with something, But on the back of that, I was reading an article recently, and it was about Russia. Apparently, Russia have already developed a vaccine for this virus. I was reading it on, I don't know, I was reading on a website, and they're like, they've done a lot of their clinical trials on humans, and it's worked on them, and now they're trying to get it approved by, the World Health Organization, and once it's approved by them, then they're going to start distributing it. But it makes me think as well, like, obviously the whole coronavirus and the lockdown, all that bullshit, it's real. Like, it really does exist out there. But there might be certain factors that might come into play. And what I mean by that is Russia and, let's just say the Western world, like the UK and America, they don't really have good relationships with Russia. UK and America are together, and they've always had a back and forth with Russia, and it's always been tit to tat. always against each other, always like, trying to smear each other's countries. And Russia's been accused of a lot of shit, like trying to hack the elections in America, sending spies to Britain to, like, fucking tamper with certain governments, and they have all these, like, allegations against each other. And then I'm sure back in Russia, the Russia public are being told a lot of bullshit about the UK and America, and they probably have done some shady shit to Russia. But it makes you think, so if Russia really do have the cure, will the UK and America really agree with it? Like, will they really push it forward, or will they just try to hide it under the mat? Like, at the end of the day, whichever country comes out with this cure, it's all good in saying that, we're one world, we're all human races and that. But whatever company in whatever country comes out with this cure, they're gonna make billions or billions of pounds. They're gonna make a lot of money. And there might be some plans to, like, even if Russia's cure is legit, the UK media and the American media could, like, basically angle it in such a way that they could say, like, oh no, we've tested it and it's not working properly, even though even if it was, they could position it in a certain angle where they could be like, yeah, Russia came out of it, but it doesn't help people as much, which I hope they don't do, because I fucking want, I want at least a little bit of 2020 to be normal, because it's been shit so far. We're in July, we're halfway through it. Come on, get the cure out. Let us at least have the last few months to ourselves. Let them be some good months, because I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of being on lockdown and, fucking just it's being careful with everything. Like, you're not used to that. Like, normally when I used to go out, it'd be shopping or clothes shopping or whatever, to meet friends. You'd go out, you touch everything, you eat with your hands and everything. It's not like you'd have that thing in your mind where you go to eat and you'd be like, shit, I better quickly wash my hands before I touch this burger. Or what did I? Oh, I can't touch that. I better wear a plastic glove before I take any further action. It's just one of those ones. Like, at the end of the day, fucking, it's just a thought in the back of your mind when you're thinking, or did I touch this, or did I wash my hands, or what if this has got coronavirus on? Should I wear my face mask? Should I wear my gloves? It's always that constant thought on your mind. So hopefully it fucking gets cured, man. I've had enough of it. But let's see what happens with that. Hopefully the cure is legit from Russia, and they don't, the whole world doesn't let any politics play, and they just get it out, distribute it to the whole world, whoever needs it, and then, we can slowly get out of this bullshit, which would be quite good. And talking of the UK, and sticking with the UK, it's raised quite a lot of the headlines over here in the UK. I don't know if in America or around the world how big this is, but Shamima Begum will be allowed back in the UK. So if you don't know who Shamima Begum is, when the whole ISIS thing was going on, when they overtook Iraq, half of Iraq and half of Syria, and they developed their own little nation, a lot of people from all around the world, well, let's say mostly from the western side of the world, like American, UK, France, Germany, Europe, and everything, they went to join them. So they were British citizens and or American citizens or whatever kind of citizens, and they thought, you know what, we wanna go and join that nation. We want to live under a strict Islamic rule. So they left all the shit here. They left all the family. They didn't tell any of the family, and they flew over there. Now Shamima Begum was one of those people. I believe she was only 14 or 15 when she flew over. So she basically told her parents that she was going to go sleep at her mate's house, packed her bags, linked up with two other mates, and they got a flight all the way to Turkey. And from Turkey, they just went to Syria, and they joined a terrorist organization. And then after that, the whole war, trying to get rid of ISIS and everything, it was successful. They rooted it out. They got rid of them, and after that, a lot of people got killed. A lot of Western citizens got killed in that war, went to join ISIS. But Shamima Begum was one of the people who got left alive, and in that war, her husband got killed, and I believe three of her children got killed as well. And then she made this whole she was in a refugee camp in Syria, and there was like there's a news reporter who went to that camp and he saw her and they did like this whole interview. And in the interview, like she was like, I want to come back to the UK. I'm scared for my life, this and that. And when that interview was shown on the TV in the UK and probably all around the world, like it didn't come off as like she was sincere in wanting to come back. Like she didn't regret. Like it looked like she didn't regret any of her decisions to go over and join like this terrorist group. And so there's a big backlash over here in the UK, like not allowing her to come. They didn't want her to come back to the UK, and if they didn't want her to come back to the UK, she'd have to stay in Syria, and then most likely she'd have to face the death penalty, which is kind of mad to be honest. So there was like, so the UK outright came out with, and they were like, "Yep, we're not gonna allow her back in the UK. She made a bed, now she can lie in it. She has to stay there and sort out her own problems." And then it got challenged by her solicitor in the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal ruled. I'll just read a little bit of the article here. So the Court of Appeal said that she was denied a fair hearing because she could not make a case from a Syrian camp. So they basically came out with, ideally, if she wants to stay in the UK, she has to come here and make a case from the UK. Like she can't be in like Syria making it from like a little shitty little refugee camp, and they can't make decisions from there. So like there's been a big backlash from that as well. Like a lot of people have been pissed off. They're like, why the fuck are you letting her back? At the end of the day, she decided to go over there and do madness, like do some fucked up shit. Should she really be allowed back? Who knows? But I do believe in a fair justice system. I'm not saying she should be allowed back, but I just want to see. Let's see what she says and then judge it from there. But it's fucked up. Like I bet like a lot of people that initially went over for this whole, went over to Syria and they thought they were gonna live this like glamorous life, and they were gonna, live under strict Islamic rule. And when it got all taken off under them, they were like, "Fuck, did we make the right decision? Did we do the right thing?" But more than anything, I feel sorry for the families. Like the Shamima Begum, like this idiot left when she was like 14, 15, like really, really young, and her parents, imagine being a parent and her brothers or sisters like not finding out where your little daughter's gone or where your sister's gone, and then looking on TV and then finding out, yo, she fucking traveled on a one like with her mates all the way to Syria. Now she's gonna stay there. Like imagine the heartache that you'd have to go through for that. Like I really feel sorry for him. That's the main people I feel sorry for. Fucking fucking mad. Like why would he make a decision like that at the end of the day? It's fucked up. But we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if they're allowed to stay in the UK. If they don't allow her to stay in the UK, then she's basically fucked. Like she'll have to go back to Syria, and over there they're rounding up all the people who were related to ISIS. Like Syria was one of the like worst hit places when this whole terrorist group started off. Like a lot of people died in Syria, so they'd want to round up every single person associated with that, and most likely either jail them for life. And the jails over there, you see pictures and you see videos on the internet, like they look fucking shit. So like I said, they either get jailed for life or they'll get killed off. They'll get given a death sentence, and that's it. They're gone. So we'll see what goes further from that. Another interesting thing that happened was Nick Cannon got fired from Wild 'N Out. So it was kind of mad that. So what basically happened was Nick Cannon, he has a podcast, and on that podcast he went on there and he said certain shit about Jews and white people. It wasn't. It's not like it's the worst thing ever. He just like spoke his mind, and within a day or two, the network that Wild 'N Out runs on, they turn around and they be like, "Yo, you're fired. Any show that you have with us, you're done. You can no longer be on it." And Nick Cannon's been, he's the creator of Wild 'N Out, and the fact that they fired him and told him to fuck off is a madness. Like imagine creating a show from the scratch, yeah, for someone else's TV network, making it as popular as it is right now, and then making a little remark and being told to just fucking chip, go, we don't want you anymore. Which like, to be honest, like, I'm not the biggest Nick Cannon fan, but I do like his Wild and Out shit. I do like his Wild and Out shows, and at the end of the day, I don't believe it will be the same without him. But he hit back at the network as well, so he was like he's gonna take him to court, because his claim is that he's the one who like created the concept of Wild and Out, and he's the one who built it from from young, like he built it from something that was so small to something that's known all around the world, and it's like $1 billion company now. So he was like he wants his company. If they're gonna fire him, he wants his company. So it'll be a big legal battle, but we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, personally, I think if my legal understanding's right, it is the network's property. So even if he takes it to, well, he has took it to court. So like, even if he takes it to court, and when he does go to court, it's going to be really, really hard for him to convince the judge that he should have all rights and ownership over Wild and Out, because at the end of the day, full ownership does belong to the television company, and they have all rights. And I'm 100% guaranteed that when Nick Cannon signed on to start Wild and Out with this TV network, he signed a contract, and he probably has signed a contract every year, where basically in the fine print it states that the TV network will and have always owned the rights to Wild and Out. So it'll be really, really hard, unless there's a one way out, unless they give it to him, unless the TV network turn around and they're like, okay, it is your concept and it's not going to work without you, so take the Wild and Out show and go to a different TV network. That might work. Like, they might let him off of it, or they might just kill it off. They fired him. They might try to run it for a few seasons. It might not hit the numbers that it was previously hitting, and they might just close it off. Who knows? Like, these TV networks have a lot of money. If you think about it, the amount of shows these TV networks make, it's fucking mad. And they make a show. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, they'll just cancel it after one season or two seasons, and then they'll move on to the next concept that they got. Which will be a shame, to be honest, because Wild and Out has been running for quite a long time, and it is really, really successful, and it is fun to watch as well. So hopefully they can come to a conclusion where both parties can come to an agreement. And a little bit of shocking news, and I didn't know about this. So apparently Chrissy Teigen had some kind of affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, who was Jeffrey Epstein? If you, number one, listen to my previous podcast, you'll find out all about him. But he was like some kind of he was a pedo, let's just put it that way. And he basically got caught for trafficking little child minors for sexual fucking stuff with old ass men, famous old ass men. He went to prison, and apparently he hung himself, which was bullshit. And there's a big conspiracy about how the government killed him off, or how these rich people killed him off. But Chrissy Teigen, who's basically just a fan, and she basically got linked with Jeffrey Epstein, which is quite left field, to be honest. So what they were saying was Chrissy Teigen had to answer to her fans on Tuesday after many asked her why her name reportedly appeared on flight logs belonging to Jeffrey Epstein. Her name was reportedly alongside with several other celebrities and politicians, including her husband, John Legend. Epstein is a disgraced reported paedophile, child rapist, and sex trafficker who committed suicide, I do that with air quotation marks, in his jail cell in August 2019. So she was with her husband, and she was in the same plane as a guy, which makes you think, like, how fucking deep does this whole thing run? Like, who was involved with Jeffrey Epstein? Who was involved in all that shady ass shit? Like, doing all this child fucking sexual trafficking. It's just fucking madness. But I hope the truth comes out and we can see, you know, if it's bullshit or if it's the truth. But I'll keep you guys updated for whatever happens. And that's it for this week, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Catch you next Friday. Bye.